Oceans are really, really important to us for a whole load of different reasons. They're places where we live, work and play. When climate change happens and affects them, then it also affects us on land. Whether it's the food that we can access, or the jobs that we have, or the communities that rely on them. My name is Dr. Helen Gurney-Smith. I'm a research scientist based at the St Andrews Biological Station, which is part of Fisheries and Oceans Canada, in beautiful St Andrews, New Brunswick. So some of the big climate change impacts that we're looking at are based around global warming, ocean acidification, and also ocean deoxygenation. In terms of how that affects us in land, it means it could be a potential change on the species that you see on the beach, a change in the jobs that you might have access to, or the species that you're harvesting, and also impacts on coastal communities who might be reliant on that resource. So one of the species that we're working with a lot at the moment is the Atlantic sea scallop. Atlantic sea scallops are actually a really important species for Atlantic Canada, and in particular Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. What we're trying to do is to find out how future conditions will affect these species. So we're looking at when baby scallops may be or may not be in the seawater, and if that timing is changing. And then we do comparative studies in the lab where we're looking at how current and future conditions can affect these species. So what we do is that we change the seawater parameters, so we basically mimic these future scenarios, and we see what that means to sea scallops, whether that means that they're going to be more vulnerable or less vulnerable, and if that means that the offspring are going to be viable populations as well. What happens with that data that we provide is that it then goes into building better climate-informed fisheries management so that we can have sustainable fisheries for the future. So it really takes a massive group of us to be able to conduct the kind of research that we need to do to get the answers to the questions that we're asking. So we're all part of the problem, but we're all part of the solution, and together we can make a difference.